Hello everyone, I'm Chinzo Machida and today I'm gonna talk about the 5 steps to improve your straight punch. In Japanese, chokuzuki. Let's take a look. The 5 steps is relate with the 5 points. Base, hip, shoulders, elbows and hands. Let's check one at a time. The first point is the base. I really recommend you stay in the hip width. So when you do the fight stance, don't stay so narrow and don't stay so wide. The narrow is you're gonna have a hard time to keep your balance. That is your technique. You see, when you put the front leg in the same direction of your back leg, you have a hard time to turn your hip. When you are so wide, you're gonna have a hard time to move quickly. So I really recommend you stay in the balance here. Not so wide, not so narrow. Also, try to bend both legs to make you go further when you have to punch, even the back hand or front hand. The hip is very important because the hip is gonna make you project your arms during the punch. So you're gonna transfer your stance, your base, you're gonna transfer the power to your hip, and the hip is gonna project your arm. So when you punch, don't think about your arms. Project your hip to the front. That's the hip is gonna project your arm. So this is gonna give you the power. And it's going to generate more power when you punch. So that's very important. Everything should be connected between base and hip. When you punch, when you do reverse punch, I really recommend you do this rotate. Centralize and hip is square. When you do the front punch, the Kizamizuki, also the back leg make the hip move forward. So that you're going to have more power when you apply those techniques. Third point, shoulders. Shoulders is very important. When you're talking about to apply the straight punch, few people know about that. The shoulder should be down. Look at my shoulder. When you punch, should be down. Why? Because the punch goes from back to straight. When you put your shoulder down, you're going to engage your bones, the head of your bones, your scapula here. When you engage that, you're going to use your whole body like a stool. Boom. If you put your shoulders up like that, the pressure is going to be weak. Because when you punch, look at the shoulder. The shoulder is not engaged. There is a movement here. So this not connect to your whole body. When you put your shoulder down, so everything is locked. When you punch, you're going to have a solid punch. Because it's all connect. Shoulder locked to your whole body, your scapula here, and make your hip and your leg connect together. So this is a very important thing. So one of the very common mistakes when the people punch, they put the shoulder up. This when you train to attack and use the straight punch. I really recommend put your shoulder down to use your entire body toward to your partner or toward to your target. Fourth point, elbows. Learning the technique is very important. You keep your elbow narrow, very tight, and lock your elbow close to your rib. Attach your elbow to your rib. When you punch, you have to go straight. Look at me. Look my elbow. Straight. In order you're gonna have the connection between the hip and the legs, everything that all connects the elbow should be attached to your rib. Look at me. When I punch, I'm stay here. When I punch, I turn my hip, my hands already go to the halfway. So now the elbow should be straight and I turn. In order I'm gonna do a little bit open, so that takes more time. So straight punch is gonna be a straight line. So as maximum as you can, keep your elbow straight, you have a faster punch. So for that, elbow is so important. Hands, which is also very important, because this is the part that you're gonna connect between your hands and the target. It could be a punching bag, could be an opponent, or even when you train with your partner. So, which part you have to use? The big knuckles. Look at me, the big knuckles. So instead you're gonna turn the hand this way, you should point your big knuckles here. As you can see my hands, when you are here, you're gonna use the small knuckles, which is very weak in comparison with the big knuckles, because it's not connected to your muscle. It's very easy to break when you have this first connection, because a lot of pressure in these small knuckles that are not connected to your muscle. But when you connect the big knuckles to your muscle here, that's to have more effective techniques. So, and also the hand, as I'm talking about the Chokuzuki straight punch, I recommend you turn your hand at the end and you tight your hand at the end. All relax in the middle of the way. So when you punch, in the middle of the way, relax. But at the last minute, when you connect the technique, you should tight and use this correct part. And rotate at the end. So in that way, you're gonna combine everything. Base, hip, shoulder, elbow, and hands. Different angle. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please check machidavirtualdojo.com. See you guys next time. Us.